No,
I'll
just
my award later.
but it seems like you, from that perspective, and also from because you won Newcomer of the Year last year, correct, for the Big 12. Like, does that mean anything to you, or is that just another accolade to add?
Is this recording?
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
We've just jumped right into it.
Oh, nice. I mean, it does, like, it's a nice reflection, but, like, a nice reflection on the program, on DT, and how much I love Oklahoma State and, like, the fit that it's been. But, yeah, like, personally, it doesn't mean it.
It doesn't. It's so. I feel like that's okay to say too.
I mean, it means more to me that it, like, reflects well on the program, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Know. Like, for me, nothing, like, whatever, but I think it's a good reflection on the program and how much it's helped me. Yeah. And that's just a result of coming to Oklahoma State, really.
Yeah, and for you too, when you played Davis Cup, like for you, what does that symbolize for not only for how you feel, but how it feels for your game or for others in that sense? Yeah,
I mean, it was obviously a huge honor playing for New Zealand, small country, bottom of the world.
Is that their tagline?
It should be. Yeah, no, it's a huge honor, but again, like, it's sort of, I always look at that stuff more like a credit to my coaches back in New Zealand, and DT in here, showing them that, like, they've provided an environment that's allowed me to get to that sort of, I guess, level. Yeah, to be in the team. Yeah, not a huge, just not a huge personal, like, it's cool, like, maybe when I'm done with tennis, and maybe I've got a family, I don't know, living in Australia or something, I think I'll look back and be like, that was cool. Yeah. Like, Newcomer of the Year, whatever, like, Davis Cup.
It's cool to think about.
Yeah, it's cool to think about them, but, like, at the moment, the main thing that I'd get the most is team awards. Okay. If we won the Big 12s or something, that would be really cool. Yeah. But yeah, and an individual success just is sort of a reflection and a reward to the coaches and people who have helped me out a lot.
So who do you think the most influential person on your life would be if you were to? It doesn't have to be one.
Tennis or on my life.
Could that be two different answers for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, close family, like, everyone's probably going to say their close family. I think their parents. Like, I've been really lucky with my parents. I've always had a mentor in my life in Tierney. He played at Pepperdine. He got to 250, or he's always helped me out. And just sort of, led the way in terms of tennis, how to work hard, be driven, stuff like that. Like, he's always told me stuff, like, what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. Okay. And I mean, he's probably the most obvious one, and obviously more recently DT. I mean, me and DT have such a close relationship that he'd obviously be in the mix for sure.
Absolutely.
But that's just DT. Like, if you know DT, or you're lucky enough to even spend, I don't know, 3 or 4 days with DT, you'll see how he can have, like, such an impact.
He does. And he has that kind of, he includes you in everything. He wants you to be a part of, if you're committed to it, you have to experience it. Yeah, you just have to, you really have to experience being around DT. And I'm just fortunate enough that I've got a relationship with DT where he can tell me, like, the most brutal things about everything, like, to me, like, constructively, obviously. And I know, like, no matter how harsh it is, or, like, deep down, he cares so much. So exactly, it's come from such a good place. So I feel like that's, for me, where, like, you sort of grow the most is when you're around people that tell you exactly what you need to hear. Okay. Whether it's brutal, not what you want to hear, it's harsh, but everyone. You don't like sugarcoating it.
Nah. Like, if I'm being an idiot, or if my attitude's terrible, or I'm not being, like, a man for the team, like, tell me straight up, like, no hard feelings. Okay. Yeah.
So and that's in everything, right?
Yeah, everything. Just no sugarcoating.
No, I like that, because I feel like at least in this industry too, and not just for your tennis game, but for you personally, it allows you to grow more as a human, rather than trying to hear what you want to hear and then sticking to that path that could lead you the wrong way.
100%. And you see it so much in tennis for me. Like, you just see coaches, like, telling their players what they want to hear, because they obviously maybe they're afraid that if they tell them not, they're
Please subscribe. Thanks.
gonna go try find another coach, or there's gonna be some sort of resentment. But I believe that the most growth is when, just in life, is when you've got people telling you what you need to hear, good or bad, and don't take it personally and move on.
No, I like that. And for you, not for tennis, but in life, what's the biggest piece of advice that's stuck with you? I believe I asked Tyler this, but I can't recall his answer. But what do you think the biggest piece of advice that's either ringing in your head or like you say it daily? Like, what do you think the biggest or the best piece of advice you've ever received was?
I mean, I don't know if this is like an out of the ordinary answer, but for me, like, compete in everything.
Okay.
Like absolutely everything. Whether it's school, you're in a class with a teammate. Like, I'm gonna get better grades. Like, you know, like, I really want to get better grades.
Gonna ace this finance test immediately.
No, just compete in everything. Like, healthy. Like, I feel like that just promotes like healthy growth in everyone, is just competing in everything, knowing that a guy's out to try and beat you, and you need to raise your level, and then the next thing you know, like, the bar's super high, and you're not like, for like an example, you're not scraping by with like a 90.1%. Like, you know, they need to get 97 because there's probably a guy in the team that's going to get 95 or something. You know what I mean? But I mean that's more of a personal thing. But best piece of advice, just. Yeah, I don't know, having good character as often as possible is probably the one that my parents have always drilled into me. Yeah,
I like that a lot. And then for someone that's had the experience of transferring, seeing how different things work, being in a world's eye view with the Davis Cup, I mean, for you, when it comes to being one of the most experienced, I would say, on this team, what does it mean for you to not be a leader, but when you're more experienced in this role, what does it take for you to kind of impart your wisdom on the newcomers or other transfers?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bit of an interesting college experience. Like, I had 2 schools which I didn't play at. I was there and I didn't play at either of them. So my college eligibility really started at Oklahoma State. But obviously I saw so much in those COVID year, and then I got a year back and whatever. But I mean, it's a cool sort of role, you know. I feel like I'm in a decent position where I've seen so many programs, so many environments, that like I can sort of relate to these guys coming in, the freshmen, knowing that college tennis is brutal. There's no hiding from it.
Yeah, it's a tough environment.
If you thrive in college tennis, you're going to thrive. Me pretty much always pretty well in futures and stuff like that, just because there's no environment like it. There's no sort of pressure like it, knowing that you're playing for the whole school. But yeah, no, it's a really cool honor. DT has sort of proved the way pretty nicely for me, and I'm really looking forward to this season to do that in the spring, because obviously in the fall slightly more, everyone's doing their sort of own thing, but when January 15 comes around and we've got these new guys playing their first dual match, I believe that like I've had so many experiences and environments that hopefully I am able to provide some sort of decent wisdom and to them, so and ultimately they enjoy their experience.
Do you feel like you're doing that now, or do you think that it takes time to share what you've learned?
I try and do it now. I'm probably not the best at it, to be honest. Like in terms of actually communicating it. Like I know often what I'd want to sort of say to them, but I mean I've sort of started it now, but I feel like where I really get going is in the spring season. Okay,
because that's where
playing for the team and
the emotion comes out.
Yeah, the emotion comes out. Like I just love knowing that you got guys, like 5 other guys, you look down like it's just a battlefield, you know? Yeah. I mean, in the fall it's a little bit like you get one guy's on this court, one guy's on that court, but yeah, dual season. I loved the dual season.
You seem excited. You already seem giddy, just talking about it.
Oh yeah, nothing like it. Yeah, like I mean, I like the fall, but it's individualized, you know, like
You like the team.
Yeah, I love playing for the team.
Yeah.
That's what gets me going there.
What do you think the biggest difference is for you when you play for a team and then you play an ITF or you play a challenger and you're by yourself? What is, for you personally, what do you think the biggest difference is when you play these two almost polar opposite environments?
I mean, it's a really cliche answer, but you're just playing for something so much bigger than yourself. Like, if you're playing in a future and you're feeling terrible, like, it's easy just to be like, this isn't my week, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're playing in a dual match and it's 45 Fahrenheit and you're feeling horrendous, and you look down and you're like, I need to try and make something happen here, because this is for so many other people, not just myself. I mean, just it's just playing for something so much bigger than yourself. That's what gets me going, knowing that if you weren't to give your best effort or something, like, it's reflecting on so many people.
It's more the bigger for yourself part. I feel like it's a hard concept to have, and I said this with AG too. It's selfishly unselfish. And with that like phrase, it's, you have to be selfish to win, but unselfish to be with the team.
Exactly, 100%. And it's tough. Sometimes you have a really bad loss. And in a dual match, and in a future you can go back to the hotel, like go into your room and sort of process it by there. But in college tennis, you're straight onto the sideline trying to get your team over the line, which I mean, it's not easy. That doesn't come natural to anyone. I don't think. You don't lose, shake the hand, and suddenly start jumping around. So that's probably the, like you say, you're playing for something else, you know. Like if I lose in the future, like I'll get pretty dark, you know. Like I'll normally, like, it takes me a little while to process and get over. Whereas if I lose in a dual match and the team wins, like, okay, like, I'm annoyed that we lost, but team won, let's go again, you know.
Because it's more that positive mentality that you'll always have when you're playing like that. And
exactly.
So, and with last year kind of being your first year in the Big 12 with Oklahoma State, what was your defining moment, or at least what's one moment that stands out to you that says, okay, this is awesome, like this is where I belong?
I mean, pretty clear. We went through a little bit of a tough phase in the middle, sort of at the end of the Big 12 conference. We lost to Texas, TCU. Obviously, they were really good teams, but then we played Baylor and Texas Tech at home. I got dusted in both of them. Won by Velch against Baylor, and then Ribeiro from Texas Tech. And then we played the Big 12 tournament like 5 days later. And I'm out there against Ribeiro, knowing that like 3 or 4 days ago, I think it was like 1-1 or 2-1 or something. And I knew that I was going to have to win if we had any chance of winning. And I managed to sort of flip that match and win in straight, which is, and that was for me like, okay, you lose 4 or 5 days ago, easy. And you back out there against the same guy, anything can happen, you know. It's college tennis. Like, you lose 1-1 one day, you play him 4 days later.
That's amazing.
And then, you know, I think I won 1 and 3 or 1 and 4.
That's even like,
and that sort of that turned our season around. Ended up making us NCAA's. That match over Texas Tech, which we won. And then we beat Florida, and that was sort of a pivotal moment where, like, you just never know in college tennis.
It's funny you say that, because I feel like not a lot of people understand that in college tennis is where anything can happen. Anything can happen, and you can have one guy that's injured 1 week, but then play the next week and come back and play really well. And like you said, lost to the same guy that you beat less than a week later.
100%. And like you're playing a school maybe that's not the biggest school, and on paper it looks maybe like an easier match, and it just never, for me, it just never is. You know, like, I'm not going to name a school, but you're out there versus, I don't know, like a really small, say, NIA school. You're playing number 6, and it's uncomfortable, you know. Whereas in the future, you're probably all right. But you've got this guy screaming in your face after double faults, and I mean, I love it, competing, but
it's tough.
It's tough.
The mental challenge of it, because it's like you, especially when you play someone that you feel like you can beat, and then something happens, and you just go, shit. Now this is going backwards. This is not what's supposed to happen. Exactly. And it's short juice. You play a couple bad points, it can get
it can get real uncomfortable real quick.
Yeah. And digging yourself out of the hole is much harder than digging the hole.
Yeah, exactly. Really hard. Yeah.
Really hard. And for you too, and I appreciate you coming on and doing this. For you, and just a couple questions about your teammates. And I've asked this for the last couple guys.
Okay.
Who do you think the messiest teammate is?
Messiest? It's Carl Ruthman. Yeah, it's not
really. It's not even close.
No, it's not close.
Okay, that was.
I live with him, but so that like gives me a little bit more insight.
Okay.
Actually, to be fair, like he's messy, but only in his personal space, which I can sort of like.
That's understandable.
I respect. Like
I understand that.
Like if you look at his room, it's unlivable, but the kitchen and stuff, he's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like spaces, no worries. Like
okay, he's respectable, but he's his own.
Yeah, and I guess that's his like organized chaos. He knows where everything is. No worries.
I like that. Who do you think the best teammate is to travel with? If you could pick one person for a road trip, whether it's for tennis or it's for something else, who do you think is your go-to guy?
It's so hard because I'm so close with like so many of the guys. You know, like I think about that, and then there's honestly not many people that I don't think there's anyone that I wouldn't have a good time with.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like for different reasons. I mean, me and Zink have had some real good trips together.
Okay.
He's not afraid throwing in like a little crumble order or like crumble cookies. Or
he said that you guys are coffee connoisseurs.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
That's what he was saying. Yeah. Like that was the line that he drew.
Coffee is such a big part of my life, so it'd have to be someone that drinks coffee, which rules AG out because
he doesn't drink coffee.
He doesn't drink coffee. Ruthman loves coffee, so he'd be up there.
Okay.
Seal, he drinks hot chocolate. Can't relate to that.
Just for fun?
Yeah, like he doesn't like coffee. Yeah, just hot chocolates.
On like warm days?
Oh, any days, yeah. So, I mean,
How is that? Why is that a
hot
thing?
Chocolates when I was 7 years old, so maybe he's just
he's just age check there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zink or Ruthman, just because they love coffee.
Yeah.
Would find good coffee shops.
What's the coffee shop that Zink? What do you guys go to?
Balanced.
Yeah. Is that open right now?
Like right now?
Yeah, right now.
I think it closes at 5 on a Saturday, but
damn it! I was gonna go.
You going on Sunday? I think they open early on a Sunday.
Okay, I'll go before I go to the airport.
Real good coffee is
balanced. Okay,
balanced.
Yep. And then my last one for you is, out of all the guys, if they have a good pro career, they have a great experience on tour, and then they come out of their element and then they decide I want to go back into tennis, but they go into college coaching.
Yeah.
Who do you think would coach a college tennis team after they're on tour?
Coach a college tennis team after they're on tour. I could see Basile being a college coach.
Okay.
Good energy.
Yeah. Someone said you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like it for sure, no doubt about it.
You would have the energy for it.
I'd love it. The only thing I'd probably struggle with is if like you get so many different personalities, you know, and if someone didn't go about things the way that maybe I would have, I think I'd struggle with that. And not that the way that I go about things is right by any means, but do you know what I mean?
Like, because it's when you deal with different personalities, it's harder to have them focus and be on the same kind of pathway that you're creating or that mindset that you want the whole team to be around.
Yeah.
So if one doesn't believe in that, it's going to be harder to wrangle him in versus someone that's fully bought into your system.
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely enjoy it. That's true. And I would never rule it out, of course, but it's a tough one. I mean, Zink as well. Like, Zink's got the personality to be a head coach, I reckon.
Yeah.
Like,
someone said Zink would be better. I think AG said Zink would be the one to coach a pro on tour. Yeah. Like one-on-one.
Definitely, yeah. I'd agree with that. L's got real good. Layden's got real good energy. I could see him.
That he was a good one as well.
Yeah.
Who else?
Sure. It's just
Alessio was good. That was a compliment.
I just haven't seen enough with the freshmen, like in the dual match. You know, like
that's going to be the experience.
Yeah,
that's where you're going to really have to see and thrive off.
But honestly, like great group of guys. Like, you throw anyone in a college coach role.
Yeah, I agree.
That'll work hard, you know.
Yeah, I agree. But Isaac, I really appreciate it. Do you want to shout out any social media or no?
Nah. Keep that under the radar. yeah.
All right, Isaac.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
That was perfect.